Picture this, a place where you can stroll through the streets late at night, not a worrying in the world, maybe whistling a tune or two as you breathe in the fresh air. Now, imagine there are entire countries where that's not just a fantasy, it's an everyday reality. Welcome to the top 10 safest countries in the world, where crime is as rare as a rainy day in the desert, and statistics show that safety isn't just a goal, it's a way of life. But wait, you might ask, how safe are these places really? Well, don't just take our word for it, the numbers do all the talking. Based on data from the Global Peace Index and local crime statistics, we've compiled a list of the countries where safety reigns supreme. Let's break it down: safety, style, and maybe just a dash of humor. Why? Because even serious things like safety can be fun. Ireland, the land of myths, legends, and safety. Ranking 10th on the Global Peace Index, this emerald gem isn't just a great place for storytelling, but also for living a peaceful life. According to the Central Statistics Office of Ireland, the country has a very low crime rate, averaging just 1 point for crimes per 1,000 people in 2023. Think about it, just a tiny fraction. Violent crimes are rare, and when they do occur, it's a national headline. In Dublin, a city bustling with tourists and locals alike, you're more likely to run into a friendly face or a traditional Irish folk band than anything shady. Petty crimes like pickpocketing, not much of a worrying here, especially compared to other major cities. Ireland's streets are alive with vibrant culture and hospitality, not crime scenes. The police force, known as the Garda, are trusted and approachable, adding to the country's charm. And here's a fun fact for you, in case you get lost in the safety stats, the only thing more common than safe streets in Ireland is the number of rainbows you'll see. Coincidence? Maybe, but you might just feel like you found your pot of gold here. Switzerland, the land of precision watches, chocolate that melts in your mouth, and neutrality in international conflicts. But did you know that Switzerland is also neutral when it comes to crime? Ranked 9th on the Global Peace Index, this country doesn't just stay out of wars, it practically stays out of crime too. According to the Swiss Federal Office of Statistics, the crime rate in 2023 stood at a minuscule 1 point per 1,000 residents. That's lower than a Swiss watchmaker's error margin. Violent crime is incredibly rare, and property crime, such as burglary, is so low it makes one wonder if thieves just gave up and became chocolate artisans instead. And here's the kicker. Switzerland is one of those rare countries where even tourists don't have to worry much about theft. That's right, no clutching your bags or wallets in busy city centers. In fact, if you drop your wallet here, there's a solid chance someone might return it to you, neatly organized and with all your cash intact. What's not to love about a country that values order so much? Oh, Canada. Known for politeness that's practically a national sport, this country also shines in safety. Canada ranks 8th on the Global Peace Index, and it's not just because the citizens are too polite to commit crimes. Nope, there's data to back it up. In 2023, Statistics Canada reported a crime severity index of 75.7, meaning crime here is lower than a Canadian hockey player's tolerance for bad manners. While it may seem like Canadians apologize for everything, there's no need to apologize for these numbers. Major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal are exceptionally safe for their size. Violent crime is rare, and Canadians tend to look out for one another. It's not uncommon to see neighbors lending a hand, whether it's for snow shoveling in the winter or just checking in to make sure everyone's doing well. So, the real danger in Canada, getting too comfortable with all that friendliness and forgetting that the rest of the world might not be quite as charming. Double quotes. Besides, where else can you find a country where the worst thing that might happen is someone accidentally bumping into you and offering to buy you a coffee afterward? Singapore may be small, but when it comes to safety, it punches way above its weight. Ranked 7th on the Global Peace Index, This tiny island nation has one of the lowest crime rates in the world, with only 0.6 crimes per 1,000 inhabitants in 2023, according to Singapore's Ministry of Home Affairs. The crime rate is so low that if you leave your phone at a cafe, there's a better chance you'll get a polite text letting you know it's been found than it disappearing forever. But why is Singapore so safe? Well, strict laws and a robust law enforcement system play a big part. Sure, some might say Singapore's laws are stricter than a parent at curfew, but those same rules keep things running like clockwork. Theft, drug offenses, and violent crime are almost unheard of here. You can walk around at any time of day, and you'll feel as safe as if you were in your own living room. The biggest crime in Singapore, probably jaywalking. Seriously, the streets are so spotless, even the gum you chew seems nervous about where it's going to land. If there's one thing you don't need to worry about here, it's safety. Denmark, the land of Vikings and fairy tales, and nowadays, a peaceful paradise. Denmark comes in at number 6 on the Global Peace Index, and it's not just because of all the hype that's Danish for cozy contentment. In 2023, Denmark's national police reported a crime rate of just 0.9 per 1,000 inhabitants. The streets of Copenhagen are among the safest in Europe, and biking here is practically a national pastime. In fact, one could say the biggest danger is getting a flat tire while biking to work. Even in Denmark's most populated areas, it's hard to imagine crime being much of an issue. Petty theft, hardly, violent crime, rare to the point where it's shocking. Most conflicts here get solved over a cup of coffee and a polite conversation, but let's not forget, this is the land of the happiest people on earth. Maybe that's the secret everyone's so content with their lives, they don't feel the need to break any laws. It's the ultimate win-win. So, while Denmark may have once been known for its marauding Vikings, these days, the scariest thing you'll find is getting caught in the wine while riding your bike. Austria famous for its stunning Alps, rich culture, and classical music. But there's another thing it should be known for, being one of the safest countries in the world. Austria ranks 5th on the Global Peace Index, and in 2023, the Austrian Federal Ministry of the Interior reported a crime rate of just 0.8 per 1,000 residents. It's like living in a security bubble, but with way more art and culture. Vienna, the capital, consistently ranks as one of the world's most livable cities, largely because of its incredible safety. Walking through the streets, one can feel a sense of calm. Public transportation is efficient, clean, and, you guessed it, safe. Violent crime is almost non-existent, and the most common danger a tourist might face is the temptation to spend a bit too long in one of Vienna's historic coffeehouses, the only thing to be cautious of. If you're not careful, you might get swept up in a waltz and end up twirling down the cobblestone streets. Austria's got charm and safety wrapped up in one. Portugal, known for its stunning coastline, delicious seafood, and warm, welcoming locals, is also a champion of safety. Ranked 4th on the Global Peace Index, Portugal is a place where crime is almost as rare as a cloudy day in the Algarve. According to the Polícia de Segurança Pública, the crime rate was a mere 0.9 per 1,000 residents in 2023. What's particularly impressive is how safe even Portugal's biggest cities are. Lisbon, Porto, and Faro, although bustling with tourists, maintain a remarkably low crime rate. Violent crimes are virtually unheard of, and petty crimes like pickpocketing are rare, even in crowded places. Portugal's residents are known for their friendliness, and that warmth seems to extend to keeping an eye out for one another. The only real danger here, becoming too relaxed. With all the sunshine, friendly vibes, and gorgeous views, it's easy to forget the rest of the world exists. Slovenia might be one of Europe's best-kept secrets, but when it comes to safety, this little country is a shining star. Ranked 3rd on the Global Peace Index, Slovenia is a safe haven for both residents and visitors alike. In 2023, the Slovenian police reported a crime rate of just 0.7 per 1,000 inhabitants. That's low enough to make even the animals in Slovenia's forests feel safe. This Central European gem is known for its pristine nature and peaceful atmosphere. Ljubljana, the capital, feels more like a cozy town than a bustling city, and violent crime is almost unheard of. Even petty crime is so rare that you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who's had their wallet stolen. And speaking of wallets, Slovenia is one of those places where you can safely wander the streets with your valuables in plain sight. The biggest danger, falling in love with the country's natural beauty and deciding to stay forever. New Zealand, the land of the long white cloud, breathtaking scenery, and extremely low crime rates. Ranked second on the Global Peace Index, this island nation consistently scores high on safety, with Statistics New Zealand reporting a crime rate of just 0.6 per 1,000 residents in 2023. New Zealand's police force is known for its community-focused approach, and violent crime is extremely rare. Major cities like Auckland, Wellington, and Christchurch are safe, but the real charm of New Zealand lies in its countryside, where people still wave to strangers and theft is practically unheard of. The only danger in New Zealand: being so blown away by the scenery that you forget you're on an adventure. But don't worry, the locals are always around to offer a friendly tip or two. And finally, the safest country in the world is none other than Iceland. For over a decade, Iceland has topped the Global Peace Index, and for good reason. The crime rate here is a staggering 0.4 per 1,000 residents, according to the Icelandic police, making this Nordic paradise practically a utopia for safety. Violent crime is almost unheard of, and even petty crime is rare. In fact, Iceland is so peaceful that its police force doesn't even carry guns. The people here settle their disputes with conversation and maybe a strong cup of coffee. It's a place where locals leave their doors unlocked and tourists are treated like family. The only real danger in Iceland: the unpredictable weather, but even that feels like part of the adventure. And, of course, the occasional overenthusiastic puffin might catch you off guard. Other than that, Iceland is the closest thing to a real-world fairy tale. From Ireland's friendly streets to Iceland's awe-inspiring landscapes, these countries aren't just beautiful fireplaces where you can truly relax, knowing that safety is practically guaranteed. Whether planning your next trip or dreaming of a new place to call home, these destinations offer the peace of mind that's hard to find elsewhere. So pack your bags, leave the locks behind, and remember, in these countries, the only thing you need to worry about is how much fun you'll have. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more travel inspiration and safety tips.